Well, yesterday, Sunday, February 12th, an off-duty City of Wichita police officer was accused of rape by a female acquaintance. The incident was reported to the Wichita Police Department, who, in order to avoid any conflicts, requested that the Sedgwick County Sheriff's Office investigate. The officer has been employed with the department since 2011, and he's been placed on paid administrative leave. His police powers have been suspended, and since the Sheriff's Office did the investigation, I'll let the Sheriff say a couple words.
Good morning. On Sunday, February 12th, shortly before 11 a.m., a 31-year-old female reported to a local hospital that she was raped and a SANE SART kit was completed. The medical staff reported the alleged rape to law enforcement, and the suspect was determined to be a Wichita police officer. Sheriff's detectives were requested to investigate the alleged crime. After conducting interviews and search warrants, it was determined that probable cause existed to believe a crime had occurred. Subsequently, Marlon T. Woolcock, spelled W-O-O-L-C-O-C-K, age 31, of Wichita, was booked into jail for one count of rape.
So as a police department, we are evolving in how we communicate issues when a police officer is alleged to be engaged in criminal activity. When an officer has been arrested, booked, or charged for a crime, we will communicate with our community and media swiftly, openly, and neutrally. You know, we have the highest standards of conduct, and I was extremely disappointed to learn about this incident. Unfortunately, policing is, sadly unique in that when one officer engages in misconduct, it reflects poorly on the entire profession. And we truly treasure our trusted and close relationship with our community. And while we respect everybody's right under due process, under the law, I can't help but be very disturbed by the nature of these allegations, and in no way should it reflect on the good people of the Wichita Police Department. I will refrain from further comment on this case while the wheels of the system engage. But I do want to invite the Sheriff to talk about a new program that we've begun talking about and initiated actually with this case. We were going to be releasing this later this month, but this has kind of sped that along. But we've been working on it for the last 8 weeks or so, where the Sheriff's Department would investigate all Wichita police cases of officer-involved criminal conduct and vice versa. And the idea is intended to alleviate any conflicts and conflicts of interest concerns, and really bring more credibility to the investigative process. So, like I said, we were going to announce this later, but we're going to announce this today and maybe take some questions on it and let the Sheriff say a few words about it. It is the first agreement anywhere that I'm aware of that involves a major city and a sheriff's department where they're doing this. So it is, I believe it will be a tremendous asset for us as we move forward, a good practice as our profession evolves and continues to improve.
The chief approached us here about 2 months ago. We'd had discussions prior in reference to these type of criminal activities that take place between law enforcement in general, and how to be more transparent and also give more credibility to the investigation. Not that both departments can't do it on their own, but sometimes it's the public perception. So this was the first case that involved this type of collaboration. There's an MOU in place to do this in the future. Where if a Sedgwick County Sheriff's deputy, commissioned deputy, is alleged to be involved in a crime, we'll be calling the Wichita Police Department to investigate, and vice versa. And the reason I say commissioned deputy, this agreement doesn't pertain to detention. The reason being for that is that detention is a whole different type of animal. And there's expertise that has to take place on how to investigate jail type setting criminal activities, and the fact that we receive quite a few complaints. Not all of them reach the level of criminal in nature, but we receive a lot of complaints that are false in nature, and it would, we believe, inundate the Wichita Police Department with those type of criminal activities. So we're very pleased to be doing this here. Very hopeful that the public will also be pleased that we've taken those steps to come forward and collaborate with our partners, which is the Wichita Police Department, in hopefully investigating these crimes that allegedly have occurred.
Sheriff, is it Marlon, M-A-R-L-O-N?
Yes, sir, it is.
Can you talk about, back to that case, Mr. Wolcock, can you say where this occurred, the crime?
It occurred in the 1300 block of North Ohio.
Is that at a home or?
It's at a residence.
Now back to the partnership. In the past, what has been the protocol? And obviously you said 2 months ago the chief approached you guys. Can you tell me about the protocol in the past and how that worked?
Yeah, the protocol in the past was simply if a criminal complaint came in, it was assigned to either the WPD investigations, if it was one of their officers involved, or to the Sedgwick County Sheriff's Office investigations if it was one of our deputies involved. We would work it. It's been very successful in my opinion. We've had, unfortunately, individuals that committed crimes, have been charged with crimes, and were convicted of those crimes. So it's not a deal where we can't do it on our own. It's more of a issue that the public perception of it. And if you have an outside entity or outside agency actually investigating those particular crimes involving your personnel, it gives another layer of transparency and gives another layer of a credibility to the particular investigation.
Can you say how many instances of officer-involved type of misconduct in the past? Do you have any numbers or anything like that?
Off the top of our head, I mean, you get complaints, right? I would say of potentially criminal nature, couple a year maybe. It's hard to say. It can really change. So up and down. And the other thing too, there may be some cases that we're investigating and we have an unknown suspect and then we find out it's a police officer. So there'll be times where we may be involved, and at which time we find out that it's a Wichita police officer, we'd immediately turn it over. But there may be times where we're involved just because of that reason.
Chief, were they friends, acquaintances? It happened while he was on duty? Do we know?
I'm going to leave the case up.
To answer that question, they're acquaintances, and that's about all that we know right now. What was the second part of that question?
That's it, if they knew each other. Was he on duty when it happened?
No, he was not.
Thank you, Jim.
All right.
On Sunday morning, February 12th, shortly after 3 a.m., deputies were dispatched to the report of a shooting in the 8300 block of North 94th Street West. When deputies arrived, they immediately began providing aid to a 22-year-old male victim. The suspect in the shooting had already left the scene. A second victim, a 20-year-old white male, was taken to a local hospital by private vehicle and was treated for a gunshot wound. The 22-year-old male victim was transported to a local hospital with critical injuries and died of his wounds at about 4:30 a.m. Deputies have located a suspect who was transported to the Investigations Division of the Sheriff's Office. Interviews were conducted with the suspect and witnesses. Subsequently, Michael Phillips, spelled Phillips, age 36, was booked into jail for first-degree murder, aggravated battery, and 2 counts of aggravated assault. The deceased victim is James L. Rochamel, age 22. Last name spelling on that is Rotramel. The other individual that was shot is Christopher, spelled with a K, Hooper, Hooper, age 20. The suspect, again, is Michael Phillips, and he's age 36.
Can you say what transpired?
This is going to be a domestic dispute. The deceased victim and the suspect are brothers.
Sheriff, there was Crystal Rochamel that was accused of killing her boyfriend just recently. Do we know that these two are related?
No, I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. Which homicide case is that? Is that in the city?
Yeah,
I think it was city.
Okay.
No links have been formed between the two of them at this point.
Yeah, I have no information on that.
We did explore it though.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right. Thank you.